Bray J here with you, LA On Air. Excited to be here with Mr. and Mrs. Martindale.
Hi.
How are you doing? Very formal if you want to go there.
Yeah.
Justin and Emily, very, very kind people. And very excited to be here with you. So, I think we first came across Justin Martindale at Dorma. I believe he was doing a show there. And we actually told this story. This got us some attention. Outside of the show, we told you about Justin Martindale. Some friends and I are at the table at Dorma, and the girls I'm with took a liking to Mr. Martindale. And they start, I don't know if I told you this part, they start doing some stalking, basically, on Facebook.
Oh,
That's how they learned you were married.
That's
And that's when they backed off.
nice.
And I said, y'all are so wrong for stalking these people. And, you know, today everybody does it, so they didn't feel anything was wrong. But anyway, the talent of Justin Martindale just left an impression on all of us that night. And you had a great crowd that came out to support you. And I remember the next time they announced that you were performing, they're like, we have to go back. So, we're here now with Justin Martindale and his lovely wife, Emily. And we just wanted to talk with you. You've done, I think, 2 or 3 shows now. And we were talking the other day, Justin's like, you know, will we ever get to talk? And I'm like, I feel like a jerk now that we haven't. You did the album release party with Paul Gonsolin. You just performed, you opened up for Watchers and their big album release show, which was awesome. And yes, we finally had to cut out time and give credit to the man himself, Mr. Justin Martindale.
Thank you.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing a lot of Facebook stalking
Yes.
of you.
Okay.
And
That's cool.
But things have been going well, and you know, just really excited to be out back playing again. And I played, you know, a long time ago, and played a few shows whenever I was younger, and life kind of got in the way, and me and the wife decided that it was going to be better for everybody if we get out there and play again. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, I can assure you, everyone's happy you're back
That's
because
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
I see musicians and they kind of do their own thing, but when you're a part of everyone else's big moment, this is a lot about you, and I love that. That means you truly are at your core, you know, there to be supportive and to, you know, you still love music, and I'm glad we met you. Y'all brought a whole new outlook for me on the music scene, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
If you could describe your genre or, you know, your niche, what type of music do you love to play most?
Well, I would say it's probably a country, folk, and some blues thrown in there. It's definitely an American style of music, I think. And, you know, my family's heritage is Irish, and it's American. So we have bluegrass and country musicians and Zydeco in my family, and that's where a lot of it comes from. And a lot of that is very lyric-based. So I'd say our music's probably very lyric-based, and it's very loud. I'm a very loud person, and I don't hold anything back.
You loud?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. But I would say that for the biggest thing for me is honesty. Even if a song, the lyrics themselves are not honest, if a feeling is honest, then that's what I try to convey. Mostly is a feeling and something people can identify with.
So have you put out an album or CD yet?
Not yet. We're currently working on our first EP, which we're calling Montana. Is going to be the name of the album. And we're trying to do it ourselves. It's getting very frustrating. It takes a very long time, and we're wondering if maybe we should back out of doing it ourselves and find somebody to help us. But we are working on it. Yeah.
Well, whatever we have to do to make sure that happens, so we actually have an EP,
Yeah.
we're going to do that.
That's awesome.
Okay. So you explained it to me, kind of the heyday of Lake Charles and the music scene, and we were having the back talk of, you know, venues today. We've had this conversation on multiple platforms, different people. It's hard today to find the crowd who truly appreciates the music itself, and not just the music is a part of the night. And you know, as a musician, you said, you know, you can hold your own with that part. What would you say is your ideal night, though, to be able to go out and, you know, I guess have the crowd there just waiting for you to share with them your heart and your music.
Right.
But what would that look like for you?
I think every room is different, and this is going to sound kind of weird, but I think every room has a maximum number of people that can be there and it have the right, I guess, vibe and feel to it. So I think that for that perfect number to get hit when you walk in, and those perfect people who will sit there and you can play the first note and sing the first line and there would just be silence and people would listen and they would really truly identify with what you're doing and really just actually want to be entertained. So I think sometimes people go out and they don't want to be entertained. They want to entertain themselves doing something else instead of letting the music entertain them. I think that's my ideal situation, you know.
And Miss Martindale, I hear that you are a singer as well.
Yes.
Yes. And what do you sing?
I just kind of sing backup with him. It's a new thing that we're doing together, so I just started doing that, just backup.
How does that feel as a husband-wife dynamic to be able to do music together?
It's fun. It's kind of unlocked some different things about our personalities, and it's given a lot of outlets for us to spend time just together. Now that we have our son, we spend a lot of quality time with him together, but at the same time we still need that outlet for me and him to participate in activities just ourselves.
And I think it unlocks a musical thing too of being able to play unselfishly, because she has a much lower range than I do. She sings in a lower register, which a lot of people would think was contrary, that I would sing the lower register, but I can sing very loudly, and a lot of that requires very high keys. So it unlocked a more selfless way of playing, of being able to play things lower and slower and quieter so that we can both interact in the song together and really make a song better by playing them that way. And I think that, for me, I've always been a solo artist. I've only played in one band my whole life, and I'm not not an easy guy to work with. I could be kind of a perfectionist and kind of a neat freak when it comes to things like that. But
hence the recording problems.
Yeah. I'm kind of
that explains that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it unlocks a more selfless way, especially when it's somebody that you don't get to go to two different houses and you go to the same house and you sleep in the same bed, and you learn very quickly to adapt. And I think it's been an awesome thing artistically.
So you get to work with many of the music artists here, and let's talk about Paulie G, as I like to call him, or a PG, as he wanted to, his emblem. We talked about that the other day. He was going to take the PG symbol from the movie film rating.
Right.
So Paul, everybody loves him. Obviously a great musician to know, and I don't know how he does it to this day. We want to do a documentary on him alone because he plays in about 6 bands.
I know.
I was talking to him the other day. I said, Paul, how many bands are you in now? He's like, only 3.
Only 3.
I'm playing with this other band. I said, well, what about, yeah, I'm in there too. Yeah, so you really are still in 5 or 6 bands, yeah.
And he wants to put together a backing band so that I can play some shows with some backing bands, and he wants to be in that too.
He's going to do it too. I don't know how he does it. I still don't understand it. But when you come across musicians like Paul, or as we said, Charles Lyons, and all these other guys, what is that like for you to see them also doing their thing? How does that work mutually for artists?
That's a good question. I think that it allows us to encourage each other, especially guys in this style of music. There's hundreds of thousands of guys with acoustic guitars that play songs that they wrote, but to really find guys that are encouraging other guys in that is very hard. And something that I learned that I love about Paul and I love about Mr. Lyons is just that they're the most encouraging guys. They'll come in here and sit on my couch and just, tell me I need to play more, tell me I need to write more songs, and they want to push me artistically, and that just always seemed like I've never had that before. I've had that from my family, but to have other artists that are out there that are willing to do that, it's good for everybody. I mean, it's good for the city, I think, to not want to push each other out for gigs or cut each other down and really want to support each other. It's been awesome. And Paul, I played at, I think it was Stellar Beans, or it may have been Dharma that he first saw me. And I mean, he was just so super excited that somebody else was doing it. And he messaged me and he's just like, "Man, did you write those songs?" "Yeah, I wrote those songs." "Man, those are awesome." And next thing you know, I was playing shows with Paul. I played 2 of them with Paul, and we played songs together. And he's just such a great artist. And Charles the same way. I played with him at Stellar Beans and supported him on a little solo show. And we're going to be opening for Sinners when they do their album release. And they're just great, very encouraging.
How did you end up hooking up with Chris, Clint, and that gang for Watchers and their big premiere show? That was huge.
I know Chris from Hamilton. We went to the same high school. He was older than me. And he watched me sort of fumble my way through learning how to play guitar. Because I played in the little worship team that they have. And he watched me learn. And he even told me, he was like, I don't know how you did it, but I went from not being able to play to being able to play very well. And I opened for Tuesday's Debut a very long time ago when Tuesday's Debut was still a thing. And Rick and Jack's was still a thing. And, I opened for him. I'm 17 years old and scared out of my mind. And I did it, and they liked it, and I never did it again after that, and he saw us play. Another thing, we opened for, what's the band at Shreveport? No, it was at Stellar, and they're from Shreveport, and their name is Irene and the Sleepers. Yeah. That's what it is. Okay. We opened for Irene and the Sleepers at Stellar, and Chris, another guy, who was just like, I cannot believe that this is who you are now. And so he was like, when we play a CD Release show, you're opening, and it happened. Awesome. And that was just really cool. That was a great show. Everybody did awesome. Watchers was amazing.
And was the other band Oddfellows?
Yeah.
I didn't get to talk to them, but do you know anything about them to share with us?
That was my first experience with Oddfellows, and they were a good bunch of guys.
Were they odd?
They had such a great sound.
Yeah, they did. I saw everybody clamoring around the stage.
It was just a very good southern sound, and I was digging it hard. Yeah.
All right, Oddfellows. We like you.
Yes.
We approve.
We'll have to interview you guys soon. Or is there anything else you'd like to add? I love y'all because y'all, I don't know, it's, I don't know, when you meet certain people, it's like, okay, let's do the interview. And then y'all were so sweet. Y'all had me over for dinner, and I appreciate that, and I get to know y'all a little more. And I think my heart got a little more sunken into the music love in Southwest Louisiana, so I appreciate y'all for doing that. Is there anything y'all like to share with our listeners?
Just be on the lookout for this EP that we're working really hard on. It's, like I said, it's gonna be called Montana. It's gonna be 5 songs that we wrote, and it's so hard to do.
Tedious process. Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of what I want to add. Do you have anything you'd like to add? I think I'd better just stop before I start saying things that I'll regret.
It's the show. We love to add extra stuff.
Yeah.
So we always like to leave on a high note. We have to have some big news, and you just gave it, obviously. The EP is huge. We appreciate that, and I understand the process that goes into that. Is there anything else y'all like to share?
I think of anything. Help me.
No, I'm just joking. Okay. I put you on the spot.
It's just all very
No, that's huge, actually. We are determined to make sure we get that recorded.
Absolutely.
Okay. Talent like y'all,
really
we have to make sure. Because what I've learned talking to a lot of artists, even those who have their own recording studios, it's tough time-wise, especially when you're in a band, to do that. But of course, like you said, you want to do it the right way. You don't want to just put anything out. And I respect that totally. But I don't want to see anyone put it on the shelf and not do it. So whatever we have to do to make sure that happens, let us know.
Maybe just check in with us, like,
hey,
how's
every now and then,
like, hold us accountable.
Public Facebook announcement. How's that coming along?
Exactly. Things kind of get blurred and skewed, like if it's not directly involved with Arthur or our marriage, which, the music is a pretty big part, but it's not like
you
doesn't
still
take
have life.
precedence. So it's kind of like, I think sometimes things can, blur out the smaller things.
And I'm a live performer at heart.
Yes,
I'm a live performer at heart.
That's the main difficulty.
And getting into a recording situation, I get nervous again. I don't get nervous when I play shows. I don't need to anymore. But when getting into the studio, I get nervous again, and songs that just don't feel like they have the same energy to me. So I'm trying to find a way to do that. And there's
a different sound when you're playing in this room and we have all the stuff set up versus playing in a big open room that's full of people, and the energy's different, the passion is a little bit different. Not that it's not there, but
no, I understand totally. Okay. Well, we appreciate y'all very much. We're going to look forward to a follow-up interview very soon. And any shows coming up that you can announce?
Not at the
any
moment.
With dates.
Not any with dates. But as soon as I know, I'll let you know.
Justin Martindale, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to stay on the lookout for his music. And, of course, Emily Martindale, thank you so much. 2 great people to know here in Southwest Louisiana. And if you have not heard them yet, make sure you're at the next show that they do. All right. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See, simple.